Does anyone else ever struggle not to offer your helpful advice and ideas for how someone else should be living their lives? Like, I love you for who you are, but don't you think you'd be happier and more lovable or healthier if you just did X? Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Wackett. Thanks for joining me for another video as we work to empower and equip you with the confidence and skills to write your own story so that you can live your life on purpose. Today we're going to talk about loving someone as they are versus loving them for who we want, wish, or would like to will them to be. Now, I struggle with this a lot. I have an idea of how something should go, someone should act, what the outcome should be, and it's super hard for me to be open to when it doesn't go that way, or especially when someone else thinks about a different or perceived better way than that. Now, this comes from a place of love and longing for others. I want them to be in their most fulfilled life. I want them to find peace and joy and healing, and sometimes I supersede my want over their willingness, motivations, their own wants and desires. I forget that how they choose to live their life isn't my choice to make. And when I come into interactions with expectations on how things should be, I rob myself of getting to know the person on the other side of the exchange and get lost in frustration when they aren't what I decided they should be in a given moment. Now, when I find myself here, I end up reacting in one of two ways. I'm either mad and disappointed in the other person for not living up to what I had hoped for or wanted or expected of them, or I'm dumping on myself for how this is my fault, thinking about what I could have done to make the interaction or outcome what I wanted. Neither place feels good, and both places are about me assuming control over things I don't have control over. And all this does is start to create a villain in the story I don't need to write. Look, I get to be disappointed when something goes different than I planned. I get to feel sad or let down when I see someone hurting and not doing the work I wish they would do. And I have to remember that disappointment results from different expectations and priorities. It doesn't mean one side or party was right and that the other was wrong, or that someone has failed because disappointment has presented itself. Just means the human experience is more complex. There's different iterations, views than maybe I sometimes think there should be. So what if we allowed more space for people to be their whole selves? Highs, lows, strengths, growing pains, everything in between, and decisions that don't line up with what we think. What if we didn't set such rigid and tunnel-visioned expectations of how someone else should act or live their life? What if interactions didn't have to go a certain way and we just allowed ourselves to be present and in control of the only thing we can be, ourselves? I know for me, when I do get to this point where I can do this, I'm much kinder to myself and others. I have way less resentment and way less compassion fatigue. So what about you? Let us know in the comments what you think, what you're seeing, even just something you want to let go of when it comes to your loved ones, and how you can experience the freedom by just leaving it here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to hit both that thumbs up and the subscribe button. You can even click that little bell and you'll get an alert every time something new gets released on YouTube. If you also haven't gotten yourself on my AR Insider, click the link in the show notes so you can get exclusive content delivered to your inbox that I don't share anywhere else, that is supportive in allowing you to continue to do this deeper shame resilience work that you're here to do. Remember, you have the right to author your own life, and other people have the right to author theirs. See you next week.